Hello everyone, ex-Bethelite here. I'm over here by some nice graffiti there. That's some good artwork. I wonder how much time they spend in school to learn how to, draw on walls like that. But you have not just Bethel Elder, but a prominent speaker at the district conventions. And yes, he said two younger Bethelites, including myself and whoever was in the area, not to marry black women because they are not submissive. So let me explain to you how this happened. Sundays at Bethel, Sundays at Walk Hill, Bethel, the farm where I was at, is laid back. For Bethel, it's laid back. You still getting up early to go down for breakfast, but you don't have to. It's not a requirement. If you wanted to and you had food, you could eat in your room. You could sleep in. If your meeting wasn't until the afternoon, you could technically not have to leave your room until it was time for you to head to your congregation. So for Bethel, that is definitely a laid back environment. So keep that in mind as we discuss this. So Sunday, I head down to get some breakfast. And I have my slacks on, I have my button-up shirt, don't have a tie on, sleeves rolled up. I'm not wearing regular clothes, but it's still laid back for what I was accustomed to. And I go and I get my pancakes. It's buffet style on Sunday. From my understanding now, it's buffet style all the time. I'm talking about how it was when I was there. One thing about this organization is that it changes all the time. Supposedly led by an unchanging God, but this has got to be the most changing organization there is. So buffet style, I go through and I get my pancakes, and I know this is TMI, but I get some peanut butter, a scoop of peanut butter, and I scoop that peanut butter and I put it on my thing. You got your Confederate flag there. I don't know what the deal is with that stuff, but get my scoop of peanut butter, and they have the peanut butter out there for that purpose because people like to eat them with their pancakes, and slide it on the side of my tray. I'm telling you, laid back. Look around, see where I want to sit. I don't have to go and sit where my assigned seat is on a Sunday. I don't have a table head on a Sunday. On a Sunday, you could sit down at a table and it not be anything but people your age, young people. And you guys just talking laid back. So I sit down at a table, bunch of young guys there, just one older guy. And I was impressed by him just because he was a Bethel elder, Bethel speaker, and he spoke at district conventions all the time. Anytime I sat with him at lunch or at his table at lunch, he was always talking about district assembly parts and traveling and things like that. Well, there was a married brother. He walks by with his wife. It was a black brother about my complexion walking past with his wife, and she was Japanese, I believe. And it's noticeable that a lot of the brothers at the table kind of did a double take there, watched her as she walked by. Everybody at the table were all younger people, except for the Bethel elder. Everybody at the table were 19, early 20s, younger guys, none of them married. And guy walks by, Very nice brother, and he walks by with his wife, and a bunch of the guys just kind of do a double take. Watches as she goes by, and the Bethel elder notices this, and he starts to talk about marriage. And of course, the first thing in my mind is, man, how spiritual this guy is, because he's picking up on what's going on, and now he's about to, cancel these guys on finding a mate, getting married, and I'm all ears about to listen to this spiritual man here. And he starts to talk about, there's a time when you need to start looking to find yourself a good wife there. And he said the key word is a good wife. Now, I know you young brothers, I know what goes through your mind. And he's got kind of like a country accent a little bit. And that ain't what you want to go by. You don't want to go by the flesh, that fleshly thinking there when you go and you try to find yourself a wife there, brothers. And one thing I'm going to caution you on is, you want a submissive wife, you want a wife that's going to listen to you, you want a wife that's going to be obedient to the arrangement. If you brothers want to stay here, you want to make Bethel a career here, well, then that means you're going to want a spiritual wife that is going to listen to the arrangement of the brothers. Now, brothers, I'm going to caution you on this, and you guys don't fall into that marrying black sisters here at Bethel. Don't go and think you're gonna find you a black sister, and yeah, fine, she's nice when you're dating, she's nice when you're talking on the phone, but brother, I'd have seen it time and time again. Brother gets married to a black sister here at Bethel, and he's out the door. He's out the door because things change when you put that ring on that finger, and you can't control this black woman. She ain't submissive. She's talking all loud, and next thing you know, brother, you and her out of Bethel. Now think on that before you put in 10 years at Bethel and you bring a black sister in here and she ain't submissive, and both of y'all out. Not her, both of y'all out. Because you're going to apply it as a couple when you get married. Not a single, but a couple. One go, the other go. Now, just as a disclaimer, that's not true, because, yeah, there's been people that one has gone and the other one stayed. It depends on who the guy is. If he's a big shot, he's there regardless of what goes on between him and his wife or ex-wife or what have you. But going back to this brother's basically talk he gave at the table, and at this point, I'm sitting there, my hands are in my lap. Throughout the whole time he's talking, I hadn't touched my food because I'm in complete shock. I hadn't touched my food. I'm like, where am I? I'm dealing with the same type of racism in my assignment where I work. And now I'm just trying to have some breakfast, and I got to hear it again by somebody else. And I'm thinking, Jehovah's going to take care of the situation in my assignment there in the warehouse, but he'd have a lot of cleaning to do, because now you got your Bethel elders and your district convention speakers, and this is how they are also. So yeah, he goes on and essentially he says that black women do not listen to their husbands. They do what they want to do, and Bethel is very regimented. There are a lot of rules, and he said he did not know why people go out and bring black women to Bethel. He said, you want to get you a nice Asian wife, you want to get you a nice white sister, Chinese, there's all kinds of women, but he didn't know why people keep wanting to bring black women into Bethel, and according to him, end up out, being put out because they can't control their marriage after. Yeah, so he leaves, and I'm still sitting in my seat, and I'm looking around, and you got mixed emotions. Everybody's younger, but I'm looking around, and you got mixed emotions. You got some guys that are kind of smiling at each other, just eating like it's nothing. You got kind of one other brother that was just kind of sitting there, kind of like me, sitting there, and he's not eating. So you know something is wrong. And you know, the issue I have isn't just what he said and how he said it so openly in front of everybody, but it's not biblical. What he said is not in the Bible anywhere. You're not going to find that in Scripture. So this is his opinion. Now, that gets construed at Bethel because you're taught your entire life. You are bred and raised to believe that Watchtower is God's channel, and they can change teachings and say, oh, they didn't teach that. Everybody knows that they taught that. That was a serious Jehovah's Witness. If that is the instrument that God is using, and the only one on the planet, you are kind of raised to believe that the organization. Now, they don't specify. They say the organization all the time. The organization. So that covers everybody. That covers elders. That covers ministerial servants. And definitely anybody at Bethel, especially a Bethel elder that gives talks at district assemblies, because I wanted to be a Bethel speaker. So, of course, I'm analyzing anybody that is a Bethel speaker and listening to anything that they say, and I'm listening to how they speak and everything because I'm trying to emulate them. This is the type of influence that they have on people. So you're sending 19-year-old kids, young kids, to Bethel, and they're with older men, and they are easily groomed by these men to think all kinds of things. To think that black women, you shouldn't marry black women, and black sisters all have kids, and you can't bring kids to Bethel, so you're gonna have to find you a black sister that don't have kids. And he said something about some people get lucky and they find a good one here or there, but for the most part, you're not gonna find a black sister that's gonna be submissive anywhere. People just don't understand that you can't even go and tell. I can't get on the phone and then just start calling, my cousins and my stepdad, or, I definitely could talk to my dad about it, but my stepdad and other people, see, my dad wasn't a Jehovah's Witness, but you call them and you tell them something about that, and it's your fault. They don't believe that the organization can do any wrong. So you can't tell anybody about this. You have no outlet other than the guys there at Bethel, and these other kids don't know any more than what you know, and some of them are going to be like, well, he's probably right. If he wasn't knowledgeable, then how did he become a Bethel elder? How did he become a Bethel speaker? Jehovah had to make him that. Therefore, he must be spiritual. Therefore, he must have some special relationship with Jehovah. So he must be right. And you got people getting up from that table like they're privy to special knowledge. That's what people think about Bethelites. They're around all these spiritual people, so they're privy to special knowledge, special information you're not getting in the meetings because you're there with the people that are writing the literature to begin with. You're there with the people that have been serving Jehovah their whole life. And they don't realize that from those people you're getting don't marry black women because they're unruly or something to that effect. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. 937-789-4029. I've been dealing with this car. I haven't been able to answer the phone. I've been dealing with this car. Somebody stole the battery, cut cables out of the car, did all kinds of damage. So I'm going to be working on that today. But I'll try to get back to everybody's calls. And this is ex-Wallkill Bethelite signing out.